Kudos to the Turing Network team for enabling token transfers and staking. As of today, at the time of doing this video, we are able to stake our Turing tokens or TUR tokens because that's the ticker symbol. If you had contributed to the Crowdloan or if you simply got them through the early sale that they've held, or another method, maybe you wanted to set up a collator, and in that case you likely got them that way as well for a set price. But in today's video we're going to take a look at the staking guide, how you can stake. It's not so straightforward, unfortunately. I'm sure there's going to be a way to make it easier, but for now this is how you do it if you did get your Turing tokens. Okay, the first thing you need to do is obviously you need to be in your Polkadot web wallet if you have contributed through Polkadot.js, which is the browser extension, and so you should have your account showing up here, just like I'm doing with a balance. Okay, this is a test account and that's why my balance is 0. I do actually have some Turing tokens. And so how can you actually stake? Okay, we'll take a look at that. We need to follow this guide here, which shows us how it works. So the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure you're connected to the Turing Network account. Okay, if you're not sure how to do that, you go on the top left-hand corner here on the drop-down under Kusama and parachains. You need to scroll all the way down here until you come across a Turing Network, which you'll be able to see here. It doesn't matter which node you're connecting to. You could do it via Oak, but this is the default one, Dweller, which is connecting to automatically by default when you select Turing Network and when you click on switch, because this is actually available to click on when you first click on it. Because I'm already in it, I don't get the option to switch again. Okay, so that's just to make that clear. And yeah, so this is how it is here. And now let's go to the next step here, and this is extrinsics. That's where we need to go. Okay, developer extrinsics. Okay, so let's go to developer extrinsics here. Let's go there. And so what we need to do is we need to select our account, in that case test state mine in my case, right? Because that's the account that we saw under the account section. Just make sure you're using the account that has Turing tokens. It should actually tell you the balance here when you go to this, so that's pretty straightforward. And so what we need to do is we need to have the exact same setup as we see here. So they're telling us here, right? In the number one, we need to select the account with the TUR balance. In submit the following extrinsic, find the select parachain staking from the dropdown, and in the next one we need to find delegate, candidate amount, candidate delegation count. So let's look for that. So we need to go here on the first extrinsic and look for parachain staking, and then for the second extrinsic we need to select delegate, candidate amount, candidate delegation count. Okay, we select this, and now we've got other buttons that we need to fill here. Okay, other boxes. So the candidate, now the candidate needs to be the collator. How do we know who the collator is? Well, we actually have a list here. They're telling us in this list here that if you go to staketur.com, we can choose which collator we want to stake with. Okay, I'm personally waiting because I want to stake with PolkaHaus. I know that they've launched their collator, but for some reason it doesn't show here, and so I'm personally waiting for PolkaHaus to show up here until I'm gonna stake. So right now I'm not staking, but as you can see the average is around 20. This is the best one here, apparently 25.57, or this one here 25.71, with an APR of 263% at the moment. So the average is 25.71 because this is how it's gonna be, but the highest is 263%, as not many people are currently staking. Okay, so that's an option there. And so what we need to do next, we need to follow the guide. We need to enter the actual balance. Okay, so in order to enter the balance, we need to be multiplying the balance, okay, the TUR amount that you want to stake, by 10 billion. Okay, it tells you here you need to input, let's say for example you want to stake 50 TUR, you need to multiply 50 by 10 billion. Okay, and when you do that, you need to enter this amount here in this box here in the balance. Okay, so first we need to copy the address of the collator. Let's say for example we wanted to stake, for the purpose of this video, let's say we wanted to stake with this person here, Sick, because I know this person here, he's from Germany. Let's go to the collator here. So we need to enter the address of the candidate. Okay, this is the collator here. You can actually see that the collator is showing up, Sick, crreferent.de. Okay, that's his website here. He's running collators for Moonriver as well, for Moonbeam, and for other parachains. Now the amount, so let's say you wanted to stake 50 TUR, and so we would have to go back here and we'd have to copy this text here. And let's go back. Oh, it's not copying properly for some reason. But let's say you wanted to do that. Okay, so we would have to select 500 billion. Okay, we got that now. Let's say you wanted a candidate delegation count. Okay, so that's the next thing that we need. So how do we get that? Well, it tells us here that we can find the delegation count by going to a stake TUR, which is the website with the staking, and note down the value in the position delegation column. If you take the value from the delegation, which is in the second row as shown in the image, please note that this value can change, so always refresh the page to get the latest value before submitting the transaction, because this does change depending on the ranking. So it's referring to this second value here, which is 10 in this case. And so what we should do is we should refresh this page just before we do it, and we need to wait for that to load. They're 6 now, so it's still 10. So we can enter 10. So let's go back to 10 here. And let's go back here to see what we need to do for the delegation count. So the field represents your previous delegations. If you're delegating for the first time, leave it as 0. In case of a second delegation, input 1. And then finally submit the transaction, and that's all we have to do. Okay, so that's straightforward. It is the first time I'm doing it, okay, in this example. So I just need to submit transaction, this option here, not submit unsigned, submit transaction. Sign the transaction with your password for your Polkadot.js wallet, and bingo, you're done. And you're going to generate those awesome staking rewards for staking TUR. In the case it's your second stake, just put a 1 here, and then again submit the transaction, sign it, and that's it. So that's pretty straightforward here. As you can see, it's not as complicated as it seems. Just make sure to get that multiplication in place, right? Multiply by 10 billion, just as it says here. I'm going to be posting links to both of these websites just so you can follow this guide, and you can follow the look at the other guide, which has the information with all the different collators. Like I said, I'm personally waiting for PolkaHaus to go live before I'm going to stake, but I'll tell you my experience in a different video based on what the staking rewards are going to be like and how it's going to change with the APY. But kudos to the team once again for enabling token transfers ahead of 4 other parachain projects which have actually won ages ago and we're still waiting on, unfortunately. But that's how it is. We are paying rent and we're not getting to use that accommodation. That's how it is. It's a shame, but kudos to the Turing Network team once again, or to the Oak Network team, for doing this earlier, for not caring about the market, and for enabling staking. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.